Hello everyone, this is the editorial for AtCoder Beginner Contest 271 for question C and D. In this problem, we are given that there are n books and the ith book has volume AI, and then we are given one operation which we can repeat many times before starting. It is that we can replace any two books with a book of our choice, provided we have at least two books. So now we are given that Takashi reads the books from order 1, 2, 3 till n, and when he doesn't have a books of next volume, then he stops. For example, in this case, without doing any operation, if we see that Takashi can read book 1, Takashi can read book 2, but Takashi cannot read book 3 because there is no book 3 initially given to us. So if we do not do any operation, then the answer would be 2 because it is the latest book we can read. But if we use our operations, we can replace 7 and 271 by 3 as we are taking out two books and replacing it with 1. So our array will become 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And as we can see, we can read up to 4 books, but since there is no fifth book, we cannot read it. So we have to find out what is the latest volume of the book that we can read. So the way I approach this problem is by using binary search. Like I will assume a particular bit to be my answer, and then I will try to form this bit by using the extra books that I have. So if I show you my code, I have taken the input. This is the vector that I have kept my low as 0 and high as n. Then I have kept a map to store all the occurrence of elements. Then I have calculated the mid and I assume this to be my answer. And then I travel from 1 to mid. Like suppose book number 1 is present in my initial vector. So I will just subtract 1 from my map. And if it is not present, then it means that I need two extra books to compensate for that. And now I will check how many books I have left. And after that, I will see if the current books that I have are greater than extra or not. And if they are, then this mid is my possible answer. And then I will update my low to mid plus 1 and high to mid minus 1. So this is how I calculated the answer. And now I would like to pass on to Suban Tirki for the tutorial of problem B.
आवाज आ रहा है ना?
हाँ
अच्छा, हाँ तो we are discussing problem D, flip and adjust of AtCoder beginner corner 271. Here we have n cards which have two numbers written on it on the either side of its faces, AI BI. So we have to make sum s using those sum of all those numbers, and we have to include all the cards in that sum. So like uh, here we have we have three cards and we have to make sum 11. So which faces will we use? T represents the face on the right and H represents the face on the left. So we can pick 4 from here, 2 from here, 5 from here, and we can make the sum 11. So how will we do that? So we can use dynamic programming for it. So yeah, we create a function which what it does is second console. So first we grow from left to right and we check both the possibilities, like if we take the first face or the second face, and which one will give basically give the answer. So we take in which index we are and like which state we have to take in like this index. If it is 0, we'll take the first phase, and it is 1, we'll take the second phase, and like what is the current sum, means remaining sum. So if we are at the end of like all the cards, and if the sum is 0, then like we'll get the answer because That's what we defined the answer. And took a flag, globally defined flag, which is 1. The purpose of this is like if we have already found the answer, then it will be 1, and like all that, there will be no more recursive calls from there. We can always return 1 if and we if we have reached the end and we haven't met the answer which we have already checked in the first situation, then it will be always a false. And we have stored the current state dp into an answer variable so that we do not have to write it over and over again whenever we are manipulating that like state. And we have initialized all the state to -1 before starting, so that we can check whether it has been calculated or not. And if it is not -1, then that means we have calculated it, so we will return the answer here so that it won't be repetitive, and we like to decrease the time complexity. So we have took like answer 0. This is like we are assuming that the answer is false for this current state, and we will try to make it true using all the choices we can take, like whether we want to take the first phase or the second phase. So if like we have which we if we want to take the first phase, and if we see that like we have more sum, then we have the choice to take that phase. So what we will do is like increase the index and try to take both of the phases. Like if it is 1, then the second one will become 1 minus 1, which will be 0, and if it is 0, the second one will become 1, and we will pass the like reduce sum and try to make it this variable which initially is false, we will try to make it true. And if we have like we have to use t here, which is the second phase. So we will do is pass on the next index, and we will for the next index we will decide like we will take both from there from the this is like predetermined that what we are going to do in the next state. So if we will both try to do both of the things as we are trying both the possibilities, which is like take the head one or the tail one and try to reduce the sum. So like if we have done all the calls and while we are backtracking, if flag is 1, that means somewhere we have been hitting this, that means the answer has been calculated, and we basically have to store like the sequence which they are asking for the series of decisions which led to the answer. So we can easily like give that as we are always we are giving the state in the whichever recursive call we have been pushing through. Like these states were predetermined and all the states have been tried. So we are doing whenever we got the answer, we'll backtrack it and try to reconstruct the answer. Like while we are backtracking, it is stored in a stack which will give the reverse of that answer. So first, whenever we got the answer, we have to reverse the entire answer, then we can output it. And yeah, basically that sums up the solution for this. Thank you. हो गया भाई.